Hello friends, and welcome to another week in the garden. This week is all about getting all of these warm weather crops transferred into the garden. Now, you have to stay along the whole week because I did a lot of what people tell you not to do, and we're going to see exactly how that turns out. Now, everything is going upstairs. I always make sure to water it before it actually goes outside, and each morning, just because they're getting acclimated, they need as much hydration as possible, not overwatering it, but just making sure that they are damp, just like you would do, if you were down below. You want to make sure on the first day that you have them covered. You do not want to have direct sunlight hitting these babies. It's just going to give them a good leg up when they're starting their journey. So it is such a nice day. We are hardening off plants, day 2. I brought them in last night, probably around 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock maybe. They stayed out there later than they needed to, but they are totally fine. So we're gonna go eat, bring stuff up.
Yeah, let's go.
So I usually would let these stay under a covered porch, but we're going to be ballsy and do it for the sake of science. And so hopefully I do not screw myself over. But we did make sure to enjoy this evening outside. I just love eating out in the garden. There's something so therapeutic. So day 2 of hardening off our cool weather plants. Today we got them out here around 3 o'clock, and instead we actually put them back here. Now I know I said probably last week that I wasn't going to put plants on here, but after those high winds and seeing just how stable these guys were, I kind of trust it, and the wind seems to be passing us. So I have kind of like watered them with the hose earlier. Bad idea, don't do that. But I'm going to come back in here and I'm just going to water them, bottom water them like I usually do. Now, I do not know about your garden fit, but my garden fit is never cute, and I'm okay. I'm proud of that. I am cozy. Also, the squirrels and the birds have been beefing recently. I have no idea what's going on, but I am here for their drama, baby. Everything is looking really good. We'll take a peek at this raised bed. It just looks so good. Very proud of it. Everything is here from seed. One thing that I am going to do quickly in this bed is kind of just go through and pick out and weed out the radishes through here so that the radishes have adequate space to grow. It really just takes a quick second. If you don't want to get rid of them, try transplanting them, it's okay. But another thing that you can do is just eat them. So just make sure that you are just going through and weeding your radishes so that they can just they can grow to their maximum potential. Remember, you need room to grow. You can't grow in a cage. You can't grow in a confined box. Sometimes you gotta step out of the box. Sometimes you have to give yourself more room to go to your full potential. Okay? Little garden tidbit of the day. Oh, the plants. This is day 3 of hardening off the warm weather plants, and we let them stay outside overnight. Now, I might have broken a mortar rule, or I might just be okay and follow intuition, but we're gonna go and check on them. It is now 2:30. I had to get a lot of stuff done in the house, so a little later than I like to check these these new starts, and now the sun is for real on them. In that little area, the spot, the sun doesn't really come and touch it until maybe like 1 o'clock. So it's 2 o'clock, so they've had at least an hour and a half of sun on them. So I'm gonna kick myself if these plants have died, because you know what, we're not gonna think like that. We're just gonna go with good vibes and just take whatever it is as it comes.
Mama,
Yes. Okay, so I was very skeptical coming out, and I was very prepared to go to the nursery if all these died. Now my tomatoes have already looking bad, so they're looking the same, but when I look on here, I'm not seeing any like signs of sun scald, which is something that you want to look for when you put them in the sun, because the sun is like, it's hotter than your grow lights indoors. So everything looks really good, and I am oh my gosh, I am so relieved. And it's so good to just have them growing underneath the sun because they get so green. That color really does seem to change for them. So honestly, today was a slow day in the garden. We just enjoyed it with our family, ate outside like usual. Yes, second day of tacos, but today it was crunch wrap, so we're spicing it up a little bit. But the one thing that I do really enjoy about having this backyard space is being able to just enjoy it. It's like almost dinner in a show. It's the farm to table. It's the whole experience that you get to eat with dinner, picking it, growing it, eating it, and enjoying the whole atmosphere with your family. So, it's baby's nap time, and we're gonna go and check the garden. Me and Walt put up like this little shade kind of tent area just so like when we're out there eating, we're not getting like the sunbeam down. So we're gonna check the plants, and honestly, this is day 4, and I feel like tomorrow is like the day that we are going to be putting them in the ground. I do not want to wait any longer. Tomorrow is a Saturday, which makes it the perfect time. Also, I am gathering up the kahunas to go and ask my neighbors for some of the peony. They have peonies, and there's some like young kids, okay? So I'm sure that they wouldn't mind me grabbing some blooms. I see, when I was eyeing them, they looked like they were in the marshmallow stage, which is like really a great time for a bouquet, or to put them in the refrigerator to save for like a later bouquet. So I'm like currently just waiting for them to come home. One of them, there's like 4 or 5 kids that live there. When I say kids, I mean like they probably look like they're college students, and I'm pretty sure, like I said, they won't care about the flowers. So yeah, let's hope. So here we are observing the day outside plants. There's my little snapdragon, the only one that survived from the mouse attack downstairs. And I'm just checking them for signs of sun scald, signs of distress, and honestly, they're looking really good. Now, what I'm going to do today is set them out into the sun, kind of in the raised beds area right now. So tomorrow morning when the sun hits them, they'll get acclimated to that fresh morning sun that they're going to get for the rest of the time in the garden. Now, I am doing this around 5 o'clock because there's going to be a shadow that is casted on the garden, just so these also don't get too much sun, so they can acclimate, hopefully, fingers crossed, very well in that new full sun space. At this stage, I'm more so worried about rabbits or deer or anything else, squirrels, that is going to come and kind of mess with anything. So that's the one thing that I'm worried about the most right now. And also, here is a sign of sun scald on the basil, those little orange brown spots. That is what sun scald looks like on plants. So I just talked to my neighbors, like a big kid, and I'm going to go and pick some peonies. It's just 2 dudes and a girlfriend, and they don't care, so bam, I'm besting. We have a little butt over there right now. Now, peonies have to be one of my favorite flowers. They bloom here in Nebraska around May, beginning of June, but this is the marshmallow stage that you want to harvest them at if you also want to bring them inside. Also, they did have lemon balm. I grabbed some, and I'm just so excited. I'm about to just rip all of this lemon balm. The one thing I love about fresh flowers, and why I'm also growing fresh flowers this year, is I love the bouquet, and they are so easy just to give as gifts. This was for our moms for Mother's Day. This is their very first time being in kind of like close to the places they're going to be. So the sun is going to hit them at the normal time that the sun would hit them. So these are them before. They do look really good. So I watered them last night. I don't think anything really messed with it last night. So we will see. We will see. My tobacco looking a little bit. I'm going to take a look at it, but we'll see. So I noticed that the tobacco, this one actually doesn't have holes underneath, and it is holding so much more moisture than it needs to. So I'm just here dumping extra water out, checking on this basil with the sun scald, hoping it'll bounce back, but I know it will. Now, this is the first time that I am harvesting little bits of bok choy. We're gonna have some like a ramen stir fry. And what I do is just pull the leaves from the bottom. If I'm going to do the whole head, I take it out. But until it goes to flower and seeds, I'm just gonna start pulling it out like a cut and come again. And here's a little fun guy. Get it? You know, fun guy, because it's a little mushroom. But I'm always happy to see these in the garden. It just shows really good soil. And here is the bok choy that I harvested. I'm so excited to eat this, and thank you guys so much for being here this week. We will see next week in everything we will harvest and grow. Happy gardening!